Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new unit review for Age of Sigmar, or a unit that I like to use. And this time I want to talk about the Knight Heraldor. I have not seen this so much on the battlefield when I was watching battle reports, but this is a unit that I use it especially when I go over 1000 points, and I was really happy with the performance of the Knight Heraldor. So it's costing 120 points, have movement 5, 5 wounds, 4 plus save, and bravery 8. Quite average profile for Stonecast Eternal. Is equipped with the Sigmarite broadsword that have range 1 inch, have 4 attacks, 3 plus 2 hit, 4 plus 2 wound, minus 1 and rend, and 1 damage. So no amazing in close combat, neither. He's equipped, he's armed with the Sigmarite broadsword and carries the battle horn. So onwards to glory, in a hero phase you can signal a call to arms with his model's battle horn to pick a Stonecast Eternal unit within 10 inches. The unit charge this turn, even if he retreats or runs in the movement phase. So first of all, I think this is a great ability. It's giving a lot of mobility, especially if you have one of these slow units like the Retributors. You have to do this in the hero phase, so you can start close to the Heraldor and then move, run, and assault. Or sometimes I have used that maybe with the Liberators to disengage from one combat and assault to another at a different point. But I really like this, so it's giving this extra mobility. I have to check to combine this with some fast units like the Draco's Cavalry or the new Paladors. So this is a good ability, I will say. And then on top he has the Thunder Blast. In your shooting phase, a Knight Heraldor can sound the Thunder Blast with his battle horn, shaking buildings to the in total. If he does so, pick a terrain feature within 15 inches and roll a dice. Each unit within that many inches of the terrain feature suffer D3 mortal wounds. So this is great to start wounding miniatures that are hiding in the terrain. Against, for example, Sylvanet can be very harmful, because normally they try to use the forest to protect themselves, but then suddenly the forest can become a small trap for them. I have to say that most of the times he's giving me back these points that I invest on him. 120 points. I have done more damage to the enemy units. I was doing, for example, wounds to a 3-man, wounds to was killing dryads, and then on top, if you kill enough, you can start forcing some what's called this battle shock test. So I think he's good for what he does. Each time I use him, I'm happy with the performance. Of course, if you have to be careful, it's easy to kill with shooting, so you have to protect him or keep him hidden. See that the terrain feature is within 15 units. You don't have to see this terrain, so you can hide him behind the terrain. Also, the other thing that you have to be careful, there is a moment that you can start damaging your own units, so you have to be careful how you place your units. So it's giving this additional, so you have to be careful how you are placing your units. And of course, more likely at the end of the battle you cannot use him, because more likely your units will be engaged in combat with the enemy. The other option is to try to block the enemies close to the terrain, so taking this risk that maybe you roll low enough not to hurt your units, but you keep hurting the enemy, or you just use the Liberators to hold expensive enemy unit, and if the Liberators are damaged, okay, it's bad, but at least you're holding in position the enemy units. So I really like him. I think he has a lot of opportunities, and we don't have to forget that you can use the horn to run and charge with one of your units, what I think is quite good, and also retreat and charge, what I think is also very good ability. So on, very happy with him. Of course, if he's engaging close combat, most of the close combat units will kill him. So normally he has to be protected behind the Liberators or some other close combat unit, so he's not exposed that easily. If the enemy have a sniper type of unit, more likely they will try to target him, so you have to be careful. So it's not difficult to kill. 4+ save, 5 wounds are not easy to are not difficult to kill, but he's more resilient, for example, than any mage or any necromancer, and the damage he can dish is, I think, is higher than any sorcerer or necromancer. Is a little bit more expensive. Normally necromancer sorcerers are costing 80 points, but I think he can do more damage than this type of units. So on, I think it's a good choice, especially in the Stormcast Eternals where we don't have sorcerers. It's a good choice to dish some additional mortal wounds in the distance, and take into account that he does not need to roll anything to do this ability. So the ability is automatic. You just choose terrain 15 inches from him, and you do these 3 mortal wounds to all the units that are at this 6 distance from this terrain. So units in the terrain and units that are these 6 inches from the terrain. So it's not only the terrain that is blast, it's also units that are nearby the terrain. So I would say I'm always very happy on how he's performing. It's a unit that I really like, and I will say that in order of choosing characters, this is maybe my 3rd choice. It used to be in the past the Knight Venator, my 3rd choice, one of my important choices. I think now I'm shifting to the Knight Heraldor. So of course the Celestan is normally my first choice. Between the Celestan and the Castellan are the 2 units that I like the most, because I think they synergize very well with the army. But the Knight Heraldor is giving also this punch, and is combining very well with the Judicators at the end. So I think it's a good choice. 15 inches. Remember, 15 inches of the terrain. So you can hit units that are much farther, because if they are in the other side of the terrain, you just have to blast the terrain and you will hit the miniatures that are just behind the terrain at these 6 inches from the terrain. So that's all what I wanted to share here. I hope you liked. Let me know what do you think about the Knight Heraldor, and if you play Stormcast Eternals, if you putting him on the battlefield or not, and if you playing against Stormcast Eternals, if you consider him to be an enemy to kill or not, or how you deal with the Knight Heraldors. That's all for now. Leave the comments below, give a like if you like this type of videos, and as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.